Okay, not gonna lie, the prototype of the Antares was kind of whack.
Watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your...
It was not structurally stable. It had a lot of problems. And ultimately, it crashed and broke apart really badly. I was pretty sad when it happened, but I've been busy and I've made the Antares 2.0 and it solved a lot of the problems that the first prototype had. So let's check it out. First of all, let's talk about the structural stability. Instead of making it out a bunch of different components, I just took one main wing piece and then added reinforcements to that so that the plane was just one big body that was structurally sound. The wings are all one big piece now instead of two different pieces. That way I could reinforce them with the carbon fiber spar. Also, the tail section is reinforced using popsicle sticks and extra foam so that it doesn't snap off and the forces caused by the control surfaces don't actually break the plane. I used purple foam for the nose, which is really great for structural support because when it lands, it will take the brunt of the impact. Speaking of landing, I added tape to the bottom of the purple foam so that it slides better on the grass and lands better as well. Speaking of tape now, I taped up almost the entire plane for two reasons. One is for structural integrity, and two is for aerodynamics. It'll reduce skin friction, which will reduce drag in general. The second thing I improved is the motor mount. Instead of it being taped on really sketchy, it's actually mounted properly. The best way I can explain it is like it fits like a dovetail joint almost. You slide the motor mount in, because it's not actually glued in place, it's just tape and slid in. I can take it out if I need to make repairs or need to swap out a motor or something like that. So that's also really exciting. Third thing is that the camera has its own dedicated spot instead of just being taped onto the top of the plane like last time. It has like a little kind of groove inside where I can fit the battery in and the camera can fit in as well. This reduces the profile of the camera, and although there is the antenna sticking out, it's a big improvement from last time where the entire camera was jutting outside on top of the body. Going back to the motor, this little blue piece right here is just a little guard so that when it does land, grass doesn't get sucked up into the motor and cause any kind of damage. So this way I don't have to worry about how I land because the guard should prevent most of the rocks and grass from getting sucked up into the motor and causing any kind of damage. A big improvement is the vertical stabilizer and rudder system. So I don't know why I didn't add this before. I guess I was just lazy. But basically this improves the directional stability a lot. Any movement about the vertical axis gets corrected by the vertical stabilizer, and the rudder helps control yaw, which is great for coordinated turns and just in general having more control over flight. Last but not least is the little flap here for the electronics. The flap is just great because it covers up the electronics in flight, makes it more aerodynamic, and just gives it a more professional look in general. Anything I forgot?
The people you're working with?
The people I'm working with. Please excuse the screaming in the background. Alright, so here you go. Here's some footage of the test. The first throw was not that good. I think it just stalled pretty early and didn't pick up enough speed to gain enough control, and that's why it did just crash. But surprisingly, there was no damage to the plane whatsoever. That was a really good sign, just to show that the structural support was working. If the prototype had gone through a crash like that, it would have probably snapped in half. The second throw was amazing because it picked up enough speed to climb, and then once it was up, it was good. I had complete control over it, and I could even do some cool stuff like rolls and loops.
Oh, pirouette!
And flybys.
Ew.
So I was really excited for that. And the last throw was just a little quick circuit that I tested out. I just threw it, did a loop, and then landed. And landing was great. I could just cut the power, glide in, and once it touched the ground, it just slid very smoothly and slowed to a stop. I'm very confident about this design. I've landed it twice now on my own, which is great because I've never done that before. And I think this is a great platform to do some testing for a heads-up display and really evolve this to the next level. Yeah, there we go, the Antares 2.0. Really excited about this one. I think it'll go far. I'm definitely going to keep using it. And next up, I think it's time to start developing the heads-up display. It's going to be a really big challenge, but I'm very excited to try it out. I'd like to thank my brother for bringing his friends along and helping me out with this testing. They're really great sports about it, and I think they learned a lot. So, yeah.